we were in a gospel choir together called the Swiss Gospel Choir. Great name, but very original. But still, it was a great choir.
So, River Flow. Please give me an explanation as to the name and the title of this album.
Well, the title track is called River Flow, and it has something to do with the lyrics, of course. You know, in the chorus it says, "Let it go, river flow." So you would have to listen to the whole song first and get the lyrics. But it's about heartbreak, it's about separation, it's about, you know, relationships being torn apart. And we've all experienced that, for sure. You know, crises like that where, you know, our heart's been broken, where we've separated, something didn't work out. The question is, what do I do after that? And so this song is supposed to give hope, you know, that there is healing, that there is a love that can heal you. But usually, more often than not, we have to let go first before we can receive something new. If my hands are tied to something, you know, I cannot receive anything new. Yeah. So you have to let go first. Maybe let go of bitterness, let go of unforgiveness, let go of people before something new can happen. And then the river can flow. The river can be healing, can be love, can be spirit, can be many things.
Joy, yeah. Cool, good. So why such a long time between your last album and this album?
Do we have enough time to talk about that?
Well, no.
I'll try to keep it short. But the thing is, it's taken 10 years. 10 years after the first album and new music right now. So there a lot of stuff, of course, had happened. I was in the States, I had a great time in the States up until 2012. But then I moved back to Switzerland because of the love of my life, Sarah. She was the reason I moved back to Switzerland. And then, of course, getting engaged, getting ready for the wedding, getting married, you know, marriage, kids came, you know, totally different season in my life. All those years I kept writing songs with this guy, Andreas, and so it just wasn't the right time to release anything new. Up until now, this year, we felt, okay, we have like over 20 songs, maybe it's time now to release something new.
Cool, okay. And what would you say is the style of this album compared to your last album?
Maybe you can say something regarding style.
Yeah. Well, it's still very much Vlada, I'd say. Right. Very recognizable. Yeah. Not just the voice, but the love for 70s soul-y grooves is still there. Obviously, all things funky and all things groovy. Also, the love of acoustic instruments and sounds and handmade music, band sound music. But there are some very remarkable differences, I'd say. Whereas All About You 10 years ago was very filled, musically speaking, lots happening, loads of horns, loads of organs and keyboards and guitars, and that's all been stripped away, really. We wanted to make something really sparse and really acoustic. We recorded it live too in one room. So that's, as far as the sound's concerned, that's probably the main difference. And as far as songwriting itself is concerned, this time everything that's on the album we wrote together. So it's a real collaboration. It's not just your musical ideas, visions, but something that was created in collaboration, in relationship, I'd say. And you can tell that different influences, different ideas, different melodies, different chords, and of course that's just great fun to be part of, and it shows on the album too.
Yeah. I didn't want to be rude. I was gonna introduce you. I was gonna do a grand entrance for you to come in.
Please.
So this is Andreas Hausammann, also longtime friend, and I'm really happy to hear how you guys have collaborated. Actually, the question I wanted, once I introduced you, Yeah.
It's my bad. It's my mistake.
Was obviously, I know you guys have known each other for so many years.
25.
Right, to be precise, right? And I just wanted to really know, why did you choose Andreas this time around? You know, from your, when you consider your last project.
Right. Okay. Well, to be honest, it's not a deliberate decision or anything like that. What happens, and that's something that Andreas mentioned before, it happens through friendship and relationship.
Yeah.
So to give you sort of the broader picture of the whole thing, the songs that we created happened out of true fellowship. We started meeting up, I don't know, a few years ago, when I moved back to Switzerland, you know. I mean, we were in touch all those years, even though I was in the States. And plus, we were in a gospel choir together called the Swiss Gospel Choir. Great name. But very original. But still, it was a great choir. And we toured, usually in summer. I was back in Switzerland, and we toured all over Europe. Every summer we went to a different country, so we spent some time there and
shared rooms
and just had a great time on stage, and it was a great project. But when I moved back to Switzerland, we started meeting more often, of course, because I was close. So we ended up meeting like every 3 or 4 weeks just to have coffee, chat, share our stories, what's been happening in the meantime, and then but also sit down and let's create music. And sometimes it was just a jam. Nothing happened, or I mean, it was a lot of fun. We didn't record anything, but sometimes there were new songs that, you know, were created. Or I brought in musical ideas. You know, I started writing again, and so I had like a verse and a chorus, and then I bring them to the session or to the what we call coffee time, and then Andreas says, "Okay, this is great, but okay, the bridge might be this," and then that's what he added when he added new sounds or new chords that I wouldn't even think of because I'm not really a piano player. But he is. Or I might bring a whole song, but I don't have the lyrics.
Right.
And then, you know, he will spark something new and say, you know, the chorus might say this, you know, or I have a line, and then that line, you know, gives me an idea and ignites the rest of the chorus. So that's what was so fruitful and so cool for me to see, okay, the first album, I pretty much wrote everything on my own, apart from 4 songs. I had a great friend, Sonia Holland. She wrote the lyrics and I did the music, but the rest was my doing, which was great and it was cool and I'm really happy with that album. But now, you know, in collaboration, there's a whole new dimension. There are ideas that I never would have thought of. There's stuff in there that just take the songs to another level, and I think that's what's really cool about it.
Cool. Okay, good. So we can maybe think that there's going to be more collaborations in the future?
Yeah, we have no intention of stopping, really. We'll just go on. No, but you know, it's as you can tell from the way Vlada describes the process, it's basically a buddy relationship, friendship thing, and the one of the forms it takes is writing songs together. And I think we are way too important to each other to stop now, just because we did an EP. We'll just carry on, and there will be more songs. There have been more songs already. Right. Lots in store, really. I basically, the way it looks now, it's a question of time before something will follow.